Welcome to this interesting part of our training. We're going to talk today about macros. In the course of this video, we are going to see how to record a macro, how to uh, develop or activate the developers option, and how to save an Excel sheet which accepts macro. First of all, it is very important for you to note that when you save an Excel file, it is different, or the method in which you save the Excel file without coding or without macros is different from when you save an Excel file with a macro. We start this video by activating the developers option. So what's the developer option? It is just a tab between these other ones which permits us to access the macros tool, to access the VBA tools. So if you have never had to record a macro or to write a VBA code, you obviously not have the developers option up here. So you have to activate it. So to activate it, you right click on any of the tabs up here. So when you right click, you take customize the ribbon. It will take you to this dialog box. What's sure is that if it's your first time, you won't have the developer option ticked. So you tick it and you click on OK. Under the main tabs, you will see a developer. You tick on it, then you take OK. So you can see the developer option is now activated. So you can start recording or doing any coding you want to do. So the next thing you need to know is how to save your Excel work. When you save an Excel work that has to take into consideration macros, you have to change some information. You have to change the settings. So when you come to file, you come to save as, and I look a document where I'm going to save it. So here I am going to give the name of the document. Then down here I'm not going to allow it at Excel workbook. I'm going to take Excel macro enable workbook. So this function or this save as type will permit us to read macros. So when I take OK, this book or this workbook is able to read macros as a noun. So let's go directly to the job. Here we are going to see how to record a macro. A macro is simply an action or a set of actions that you can run as many times as you want. So if you have an action that you have to perform in an Excel sheet many times, you can run a macro to help you automate that action. Let's say we have values here, 1, 2. Let me create a bit of content. So we have some values here and we want to be pasting this value all the time in cell L in column H. So I'm going to record a macro. A macro is not like I'll be recording my voice or whatever. No, what I'll be recording here is procedure or actions taken place. So if I start recording a macro, anything I do in my Excel sheet will be recorded as an action and will repeat itself the next time I click on that action button. So I go to developer. I will not take macro. Macro here represents the list of all the macros that I've created. Simply, I'm going to take record macro. So I'm going to give it a name. First macro. So here when I take OK, immediately as I take OK, anything I'll do in my worksheet will be recorded, meaning it will be kept in the memory. Macros permit us to write codes just by doing actions. So when I take OK, so I'm just going to change the name. Okay, you cannot actually write a name with space, so if I want to write first macro, I will have to merge them together, or let me just allow first. So remember, when writing the name, you don't have to give space between the name you're giving. So yet my macro has started. What I want to do is to copy this information and paste it here. So I select the area. This is an action that I've done. I copy the area with Ctrl plus C. I come to H. I take Ctrl plus V to paste. So you can see that it has pasted the information. But what Excel is doing is that it is recording it in the form of codes. So after this, I would like to delete or to clear content from this cell to this cell. So I'll clear content. So after all, at the end, I want to stand at H1. So all that I have done now has been recorded. You see here, it is no more record macro. It is stop recording, because what it's doing now, it is recording anything I do. So when I click on stop recording, actually the macro has been recorded. It is somewhere, but I cannot apply it until I create a button which will permit me to do so. So for me to enter a button which will help me to repeat the macro, I'm going to come to insert, and here we have button. So I click on button. So I come here, I draw the button. When I allow the button, you will see the list of all the macros that I've created in this workbook will appear. So our macro here was first, like this word first. So I take OK, and now this button is going to be a button where we click in order for the macro or for the actions that I've done to repeat itself. So I can just decide and change, for example, the name which is here, and say, for example, my macro. So that can be the name of this button. So when I click out of the button and I come back, you see it is now this arrow that is showing. It means that it is ready to be used. If I want to select this to modify, if I want to select this button to modify, I will just have to right click on it. But if I left click on it now, what it's going to do is that it's going to repeat the action that I just recorded. So let's say in this cell I have A, I have B, let me say B. So if I have this information, okay, so let's say something. If I click on the button, see what has happened. He has copied the information that was here, he has pasted it here, it has emptied this space, and it came and stood here. So you see, everything that I did in my Excel sheet when recording is being recorded, and it's being done alone. Just imagine that here these cells are empty, right? So if the cells are empty, when I click on the button, wow, you see these cells are empty, and this man came and replaced this man, giving us no problem. So anything I put here is going to be carried to these cells automatically thanks to the code we created. So this is how we record a macro. In our follow video, we are going to see what is VBA, and we are going to see how to ameliorate what a macro can do with the use of a VBA code. See you in the next video.